Hello everybody, Travis here for Tpull's Corner. I was away for a couple of days, had to go do some overtime at work, to go out of town a little bit. And when that happens, there's just no way to make a video. But I'm back, and we got stuff we can do. This is going to be a Meld deck. Most of the cards from the Brothers War. But it's a 5-color deck. It's been a while since I saw a boarded window. Let's start with a Mishra claimed by Gex. No way. They just look at the one card and they can't handle it? That's weird. Black usually has a lot of removal. Well, we'll go in and show you our deck. It's a little bit earlier than I was planning. For the Brother War expansion, they made a cycle of Meld Planeswalkers. And there were only 3, but they made sure to cover all 5 colors. So we have Gaia, who is mono green, Mishra is black and red, and then Urza is blue and white. So I hadn't received any Urza Lord Protectors this entire time, so I just broke down, like I've been doing this entire year. I burned my Mythic Rare Wild cards to get copies of cards I've been wanting to play with. So I got 4 Urza Lord Protectors. I think actually I've got Argothian Opportunist here to give me some Power Stone tokens that'll help make it easier to cast the Might Stone and Weak Stone in the Phyrexian Dragon engine. But I think I have 4 Dragon engines, so why don't I just go ahead and do all 4 of the Dragon engines, and we'll just go down to 2 Argothian Opportunists. And that should be okay, because these aren't too expensive. Anyway, so once I wanted to make a deck and have a chance to meld into Urza Planeswalker. I've done this with the others already. And then I was originally thinking I'd do an Urza Mishra deck, which could be kind of fun. But then I figured for my first time out, why don't I just lump them all together? And that's probably not how Wizards has designed them. But I put an extra green stuff in here to support Titania because of the conditions, right? For Urza Lord Protector, you just need to be able to pay 7, and then you can meld the Might Stone and Weak Stone with Urza. And if you have Urza down first, it's cheaper to bring down the Might Stone and Weak Stone, and then by that point, you probably have the 7 that you need to cast the meld cost. So it's kind of easy there. For Mishra Claim, actually, that's grayed out, right? So I don't have 4 copies. I'm going to switch that back. I only have 3 copies of Phyrexian Dragon Engine, so that's fine. And 3 copies of Mishra. There you need to have 1 each of those down and have them attacking, and once they attack, you can meld. With Titania, you need to have the Argoth land, and you need to have 4 or more lands in your graveyard, which you can't normally count on having 4 lands in your graveyard without a bit of help. So to help, we've got 4 copies of Eccentric Farmer. Mill 3 cards, then return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. We've also got 1 each of the sack lands from Streets of New Capenna, so these will go into the graveyard. I've also got 1 copy of Echoing Deeps. Enters the battlefield tapped as a copy of any land card in a graveyard. So if I've got one of these other tapped lands in there, this will also follow suit, turn into a duplicate, and we can sack it and go into the graveyard. So lots of chances here between these and the Eccentric Farmers to get lands into the graveyard. We've also got Wrenn and Realmbreaker. You can mill 3 cards, put a permanent card from among the milled cards in your hand for the -2 loyalty ability, and that's probably going to hit some lands as well. So Wrenn and Realmbreaker works pretty well to Titania. In the other way, since I'm doing all 5 colors, I've got 4 copies of Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia to summon the creatures, so if I don't have the right lands, as long as I got green and get Gwenna down, I can summon anything else. And then we've got 2 Invasion of Alaris for my 5-color cards and 2 Kami Wars. And that's pretty much it. Most of our cards are eaten up by the meld cards themselves, right? 4 copies of Titania, 4 of Urza, and 3 of Phyrexian Dragon Ninja, Mishra Claim Regex, and Mindstone and Weakstone. And that's the bulk of the deck, and then the rest is just kind of, here, you got 5 colors, you need a little help there, you need lands in the graveyard, let's do that there, you know, that kind of thing. So a little bit of supporting cards, and then you got a 5-color Meld deck. So it's called Triple Meld. And usually when Wizards makes a cycle, they make more than 1 cycle per expansion. But when they're making a cycle, they're usually thinking in terms of the color pie. A lot of times they'll make 1 card in each color, so it's monocolor. And then other times they do like here where they do 1 or 2 colors. But they're usually trying to make like a 5-card cycle, 1 in each color, and each of the cards will be tailored to the color philosophy, so they do kind of different things. An idiot that I am, I lump them all together a lot. So there was a mechanic called Adamant, where you cast a spell for, like, say, 2 and a black mana, but if you spend all 3 mana, then you get extra, right? By spending more of the same colored mana, you get bonuses for the cards when they're brought down. And so what I did was I took all the Adamant cards I had and I shoved them all into 1 deck. And you would think that would make it difficult with the mana cost, but it won a lot. It did really well. So I tend to do that a lot when I spot a cycle. When I have all of the cycle cards together, I lump them all into a deck because I'm pretty sure that the designers didn't playtest them that way. And I've got all green right now. Let's go get a swamp in preparation for some other stuff. Our opponent is blue, so you need to give them time. They're going to draw and discard. They've always got this tough choice to make on what to discard. If they take this long and just discard an island, we'll be disgusted. Okay. Maybe they don't have the blue, or they don't have the black color they need yet. Let's start with our Gothian Opportunist. Makes it easier to bring out the Dragon Engine when we're ready for it. Okay, they've got the black color. They probably... Oh, they're just willing to make the trade straight up. Okay. Okay, so we've got green, black, and blue. Let's go get the only planes we have. Okay, then eccentric mark. And that one. I think we sacrifice a creature here. Okay, that's a mountain. So let's go get our second forest now. And then another eccentric farm. Excellent. One of those. Get something that gives us life. Sacrifice that creature. So they get good value out of just this one enchantment. Get rid of 2 of our creatures already. And for a meld deck, we've only got 1 piece out of everything that we need to meld so far. Well, we do have Argoth, so we got 2 pieces, I guess. And we have problems with flyers on occasion. This deck does anyway. Titania has reach, but that's about it. And they are all in, evidently. Alright. Invasion of Alara it is. I guess we bring down Gwenna. Not the most awesome choices. We already had a Gwenna. I was hoping for something more exciting than that. If they got just enough bounce, we could be dead. They exile 1 of our 2 planeswalkers. Alright. I don't think the color matters anymore for this. It really doesn't, because we only had 1 choice. We'll bring down Urza. Use that to bring down the Dragon Engine. We made that cheaper. And that's all we can do. And of course, they have removal. And they've emptied every card in their hand, as is common for the very cheap ninjutsu decks. 1 mana, 2 mana, 3, 4, 4, 2. And we didn't get really the right stuff. We got half of each of the things we needed for melding. And we just get a land. So that is going to be nowhere near enough, right? And we can do this. We can do this.
There, in the tangle,
And we can do
I
this.
see a path to victory.
And we have to block that next turn.
Fight back!
And they already have flying lethal. We got 1 each of the 2 pieces that we would need for each one of the 3 different melds. A little too much variation there, Arena. It is possible having 4 Ren and Realm Breakers is 1 too many. But you notice I didn't really have much in the way of interaction. There's no removal spells, unless you want to count, you know, like the 5 color cards. The 6 color, the 6 mana costing cards. It's kind of tough to rely on 2 Camigores as your only removal for the entire deck. But the goal is to do stuff like this, where we get the meld in our hand, and then once we get our land, we're good to go. against cheap decks like this, we really can't afford to miss a land drop. We'll just copy that. That's already in our graveyard. And we'll go get our island. And for all the support we have for green, green's what we're missing. So of course they give me my second double green copy. They are ready with the removal. Look how fast that was. Missed a lane drop. They do not. That's 3 fateful absences already. And we missed a land drop. Finally we get 1 forest. Although actually, let's get the plane so we can bring down Urza. Not a chance. They're going to get all those fateful absences. We are not going to be able to... Is that another fateful absence? No way. They pulled out all 4 fateful absences. Just like half of their opening spells. I've never seen anything like that before. I must have pissed off Arena. Let's see what else it wants to subject me to today. We will get to Meld eventually. They can only keep oppressing me for so long. We already had a battle like this with a bunch of siege veterans. Okay, we don't have a turn 2 play, so we'll go get our mountain now. And then we just need our greens to show up eventually and we'll be good to go. Expect this one to die pretty quick. Destroy evil, okay. I think we got a forest plant. And nothing better to do, so let's do another Urza. Subject it to removal if they've got it. maybe. Five turns, 5 colors. What can we bring down? Let's try Gwenna. Very unusual. Titania comes down next, courtesy of Gwenna. And then we can also bring down the Argothian Opportunist. And we can only activate these as a sorcery, right? Let's go ahead and put this on Gwenna. It's a land. Oh, it's Argoth. Nice. Okay, I only have 2 lands in the graveyard, so we need to get 2 more lands in the graveyard. They are not doing anything.
If this is my final fight, then we must win. My voice beckons to all worlds.
I think they're having trouble with lightning. Target player draws 2 cards, destroy one of their Lunarch veterans, and then make a copy of something that's not legendary. So, can we copy the island? And then we'll just bump up these. 3 counters is good. And then we end the turn. What did they make their deck out of that they're only getting 2 lands? I mean, I've had the same thing happen to me with a regular deck, so usually they're not hanging around to play it out, though. Okay, we'll go get the last remaining basic forest. Then we mill 3 cards. Get Argoth in
Must
there.
not
Let's bring
forget
Mishra
the
out.
mission.
Since they know we have Mishra, we'll bring it down. And then we'll just pass the turn. Why? Because we want to meld Titania. We have Argoth and Titania. They finally get their 3rd land. I'm not sure why they would do that. That was a mistake, obviously. Alright, everything comes back, every land comes back from the graveyard. And so whatever is left for basic lands we can get, although we might have gone through all the basic lands at this point. There's a mountain at least. And we get some life out of all that.
Allies everywhere. Stand with us.
Get rid of the Resplendent Angel. And then we can just go ahead. Oh, we can bring this down too. No, let's just go attack. They don't wait for the hit. Alright, that's 1 meld. But that was kind of not fair because they had to live on 2 lands for quite a while. Arena is using me after all of my losses in playtesting. They have to give me a win eventually. And they just use me to give somebody else who's due to have a loss their loss. I like having all these lands at the beginning. I'm looking for an island. There we are. Gross. This feels like an Atraxa deck with a Tully maybe tossed in. Ouch. Ouch. I think we're dead. Yep, yet again they managed to unload just about every card in their deck or in their hand.
Heed the trees. They prepare for war.
And we would really need a board wipe to stop that at this point. We could get down 1 Cameo to get rid of 1 threat, and that is not enough. So we went from somebody having 2 lands to somebody getting every land they wanted and every card out of their hand they wanted. We need a little bit more. We need to be able to play a little bit more up front. It didn't quite do me enough so that I have the right colors to cast a Cameo on turn 6. Casting 1 spell on turn 6 is not going to save you from death. So, but that's part of the problem with not having any other renewal spells. People are putting out stuff on turn 1 all the time. Okay, we start with the forest. 1, 2, 3 turns. 1, 2, 3 lands, and spells that cost 1, 2, 3. It's pretty much perfect for them. Let's go get an island. Missed a land drop. Not cool. Slowly coming together. You might not mind this dying because they've got a poison deck. So the rest of their spells are probably going to be proliferation spells or things that give me poison counters. Let's get rid of 5. And we can bring down the dragon engine. Still kind of on the defensive from the poison counters. And everything else is basically a duplicate, so we need more land to cast the Kami War. Whereas maybe we hope that they kill something of ours? We're going to just bring our poison counter up. Well, that's not a duplicate at least. Not looking good. You know what? We've got so many Gwenas. We don't mind that so much. I was expecting Vraska's Sacrifice, because that gives you a poison counter. There's a replacement for us, and now we can still swing in and attack with those 3. Maybe we finally get them under 20 life. And we are at 6 poison counters. And that's 3 of those blight belly rats. They go digging. Aha! That's a nice card first down. Activate! Oh yeah.
This is why you summoned me.
I feel good now.
The next experiment begins.
Gain 4 loyalty.
Ramp up production immediately.
Which can actually, let's see, they've got 8 permanents in the graveyard, so they can block with that puppy. Go get a mountain. And they don't wait along for anything. That is the one drawback to once you get a good planeswalker out. I was going to maybe do the ultimate and do the -10. A lot of times you get somebody newer who hasn't seen the cards in action yet, so they're interested to see either like how they work or maybe the animation that Arena has for it. Hear the audios, the audio files. And then other times people just know what's up and they don't want to sit through it. How many cards do you have? More than 130. Okay. Swamp, mountain, or forest? No, it's one of those decks. Okay, we got 4 colors out of 5. All we need is blue, and we'll be good to go. They're close to casting the Virtue of Loyalty. When's the last time you saw a Circle of Confinement? You think they're trying to give us a hint?
I will give you all the time I can muster. Please, buy us more time.
And there's their 5th land. And we're still working on 3 here. They took our planeswalkers.
So many screams.
lands do I have in the graveyard? Just 2? Ouch! Hmm. We can get stuff on the field at least, but we need more help than this. We're still looking for blue as well. Gwenna can give us blue to summon creatures, but to get the Kamiwar out, we need a separate land source. Alright. Hang on, let's do this first.
If this is my final fight, then we search past the walls of this realm.
Gain 2 life from it. And then we'll bring down the next Titania that isn't paralyzed. And we'll keep the new one. And sure, let's attack. Now hopefully they go after Run and Realm Breaker. I don't like that card.
The end of all things draws near.
Get rid of their 4/4. We don't attack with anybody this turn. That's a devastating combo. Makes everybody get 3/3 as soon as they come in. Return one of their tokens. They have to discard a card. Ooh, Eerie Interference. Alright. Next, Invasion of Allura. Alright. Alright, Virtue of Loyalty comes down. And this lets them create a 3/3 every turn. Oh, they're gonna do the other one. Alright, yeah, they get 2 3/3s. We'll get rid of the one.
I see endless rot and rebirth.
How many Argoths do we want? They shouldn't want to attack with their Redeemer if they can't get rid of our Dragon Spirit. Uh-oh. We're destroying all other permanents? Really? Wow. Alright. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Realmbreaker is to there.
Get my opportunist
In the
back, and they
tangle.
get
I see a
that
path
back. Let's
to
get
victory.
Titania back. I don't know that that was the best deal for
My
them.
voice beckons to all worlds.
Depends on if they have another board wipe handy right after this, right? They do not. Yeah, Urza Silex needs to be used somewhat judiciously. I'm not sure that they really need to clear the board like that. Heavyweight Demolisher! Alright, we'll do one more. A lot of people get nervous when they see our creatures out. Especially when they see what we can do the next turn. So just knowing what we knew, that we had Titania on the field, we had Argoth on the field, and we finally had 4 lands in the graveyard, that next turn was going to make for a very impressive creature. And if they didn't already have an answer, that can lead to some desperation plays or some scooping. It's for the most part, it's hard to surprise somebody with the Meld. Once they see the first card, they're already suspicious about if you are going to use the others. There are decks that I'll make where I'll just use Phyrexian Dragon Engine, and I won't use Mishra. I think this is a handy card in and of itself. Okay, if this is Angel Tribal, we could just die real fast, right? This deck is not the greatest in terms of having a lot of defense against flyers. And if they're summoning an Angel, just right now they're just exiling and doing some mana fixing, huh? Okay. Let's try a Dragon. I expect them to attack with Giada. There's no downside to doing so. Okay, we've got red and white there, so we'll go get an island. And in the meantime, Eccentric Farmer seems good. I need a mountain still, right? Yeah, well, I kind of have that there. That's okay. We attack with this. We see if they want to chump block or not. They take 4 points. And this will give me 5 mana and 1 of each color, so we're still good there. And I think I'm done with having the flyer come at me. And I can still attack with the dragon engine. 4 more points. Straight to the face. All right. Now, we've got a bit of a problem, right? Let's go ahead and bring you back. Do not attack. Rana and Linvala. Oh, that's wicked. So now I can't meld, right? Arena. Arena done me dirty. Look what they did. They went and found a card that stops me from melding. Can't really attack with anyone there. Yeah, I think they got me. That's... What are the odds? How many times do you see people using Drana and Linvala? And now, they've got lethal just right there. Yeah, that was just wicked. I can't meld. Okay, so that card alone is a single card shutdowner. We were kind of waiting for that, weren't we? At some point, Arena's going to find the card that shuts your entire deck down. And no matter how many months it's been since you faced it, it will find somebody who's playing that card right now. So it found a Giada Angel deck that was willing to use that because it had multiple colors in it. It wasn't a mono white Giada. We're going to go in and show you the deck one more time. I was trying to get it so that we could meld with Mishra as well. But sometimes the cards just don't come up. So, overall, not bad. I had some really good playtesting earlier as well, where I was able to get some of these out in pretty good succession. And you notice I bumped up the Dragon Engine too, and we didn't quite get that combo going this time. But, yeah, basically it's a beautiful sight to meld any one of these three, and you really feel good when it happens. The thing that I would think to do is maybe I don't need 4 Ren and Realm Breakers in here. Maybe I could go down to 3 or 2 and go ahead and concede that it is time to have more interaction. In terms of removal, we can get rid of 5/5s with the Might Stone and Weak Stones, and we can exile anything with the Kami War. And that's probably not enough. You know, if we do manage to convert Invasion of Alara into Awaken the Maelstrom, we can also do some interesting things there. Because here at the end we get to destroy target opponent and destroy target permanent and opponent controls. So technically, you know, if we got to all of those cards, there's like 7 removal cards in there. But a lot of what we're hoping for is if we can merge with the Planeswalker, we could exile 2 different non-land permanents in a single turn. If we attack with Mishra, we can do 3 damage to any target and destroy target artifact or Planeswalker. So there is sort of some other kinds of removal that's built into the deck, but not quite the kind of interaction that you might need to survive like a 4-turn or a 5-turn knockout deck. And so what card, if you wanted to take out, say, 2 Ren and Realm Breakers, what would you put in there just to do a little bit of interaction to help you survive long enough? Would you do like a Path of Peril You know, that's 2 black mana and 1 colorless. So for board wipe, that's 3. Or would you do like one of the 4 or 5 white board wipes? Or would you just do a couple of single removal spells? Anyway, let me know what you think of the deck. We're probably not done with the melding. I think I've done enough Titania lately. I'm probably going to do an Urza and Mishra deck together. So instead of all this green and 5 color stuff, we'll just go down to a 4 color deck and see what we can do from having the 2 meld pieces of each as a starting basis for that kind of deck. And then I think I want to do an Urza Lord Protector deck. So that's a little preview of stuff that's coming up for you in the future. In the meantime, let me know what you think of this. Let me know how you might adjust the deck, that kind of thing. And remember to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.